Hello, welcome back to another episode of Susan Lopresti Wellness, Mind, Body, and Soul, the podcast where we explore the highs, the lows, and everything in between when it comes to a mature woman's life, her health, and all aspects of navigating the midlife landscape. I'm your host, Susan Lopresti, and today I'm going to offer you 10 ways to improve your memory and also to improve your brain health. So let's begin. Welcome back. Okay, let's begin. Maintaining brain health and memory is crucial for people of all ages, including mature women. And on here today, I'm going to offer you 10 ways that a mature woman can improve brain health and memory, but really anyone could benefit from this as well. But if you are a woman in midlife or older, you probably have noticed that your brain is not as sharp as it once was. Like, for example, have you ever walked into a room to get something, and once you step foot in the room, you forget why you're there? Yeah, it's happened to me as well. So I know what's going on. And I would feel pretty confident in saying that besides it just happening to me, I'm sure that it's happened to many of my listeners on here right now. And anything that I'm about to tell you is nothing that you don't already know. I'm here to keep on reminding you that these suggestions are not just about brain health, but you will begin to see a pattern in the types of foods that you should be eating to repair other organs in your body as well. And you'll begin to see that these suggestions work with many chronic diseases and illnesses to help improve systems. And many times, you can possibly eradicate the disease by changing your diet and lifestyle, or at least put some of your symptoms at ease where they're just a little bit milder and more manageable for you. So it stands to reason, right, that we should be doing some of the suggestions that I'm about to offer you before you actually get sick, right? So hopefully when you hear this, you're already doing some of these suggestions because we should be proactive in maintaining good health and not waiting until we're sick before we decide that we want to get healthy. Sometimes that could be too late. So I'm all about being proactive, right? So let's begin by offering you some great advice for keeping your brain healthy and sharp. And the first thing that I'm going to talk about, which will be no surprise to anyone, is regular physical exercise. We need to engage in regular aerobic exercises like walking, jogging, swimming, and dancing, things like that, or anything that you enjoy doing. If it's rollerblading or bike riding, that's fine as well. So whatever you enjoy. Physical activity, it increases your blood flow to the brain and it stimulates the release of chemicals that enhance brain function. So right off the bat, that's perfect. Mental stimulation is another thing that we should be doing. So we want to keep our mind active by regularly challenging it with puzzles and games, reading. Learning a new skill is always great, or engaging in mentally stimulating hobbies like painting, or maybe playing a musical instrument, or learning how to play a musical instrument. And then, of course, I'm going to talk about diet because diet is always a major contributor to better health. So we want to talk about a balanced diet. We want to consume a well-balanced diet that's rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Foods like fish, omega-3 fatty acids are great for maintaining good brain health. Berries, nuts, and leafy greens have all been linked to improve brain health. So you want to make sure that you're getting a wide variety of those types of foods into your diet on a daily basis, not once a week. You want to incorporate them in your daily diet. Hydration is also key. Staying properly hydrated, as water is essential for the brain to function optimally. And then I've talked about this so many times already, but social interaction is vital. So maintaining an active social life and engage in meaningful social interactions. Socializing can reduce stress and improve cognitive function. You can incorporate social interaction and physical activity together by incorporating sports. So playing tennis or pickleball or golf, or walking in a walking club, or joining a run club, or swimming in a pool. All of those activities will involve interacting with other people. You're helping your brain in two ways. So you may want to think about the types of physical activity that you're doing and incorporate one that involves other people where you'll need a partner. And then I want to also talk about stress management. We need to practice stress reduction techniques such as meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga, or mindfulness. Chronic stress can negatively impact memory and brain health. And not only that, but chronic stress creates inflammation in your body, which will also affect your brain, but not only your brain, but also if left unaddressed, stress will create disease in your body. So it's very, very important that you follow stress management, and the suggestions that I just gave will work wonderfully. Then we need to also address quality sleep. We want to aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. During sleep, the brain consolidates memories and it performs essential repair and maintenance functions, such as the glymphatic system. The glymphatic system is a recently discovered waste clearance pathway in the brain that plays a crucial role in removing metabolic waste products and toxic substances. It was first described in 2012 by researchers at the University of Rochester Medical Center. The term glymphatic is a combination of glial and lymphatic, referring to the involvement of glial cells in the clearance process akin to the lymphatic system's role in peripheral tissue waste removal. So the glymphatic system primarily involves two key factors: glial cells, which are cells in the brain that support and protect neurons. These cells form a network of interconnected channels through the brain. And then there is cerebrospinal fluid, and we call it CSF for short. And it's a clear, colorless fluid that surrounds the brain and the spinal cord, and it provides cushion and nutrient exchange for tissues. The glymphatic system operates during sleep when the brain's metabolic activity is reduced compared to wakefulness. It works as follows. During sleep, the brain cells shrink slightly, creating more space between them. This allows for that clear, colorless fluid to enter the brain more effectively. The CSF flows through the spaces between the brain and specialized channels. And these channels create pathways for the movement of the fluid, which effectively washes through the brain tissue. And As the CSF passes through the brain tissue, it picks up waste products such as beta amyloid and tau proteins, which are implicated in neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's disease. So these waste products are then carried along with the clear fluid to the perivascular spaces surrounding the blood vessels. From these spaces, the fluid and the waste products are finally cleared from the brain, eventually making their way into the lymphatic system and then eventually out of the body. So the lymphatic system's significance lies in its potential implications for brain health. As you can see, it's really involved in brain health, and proper clearance of those waste products is essential for maintaining brain function and preventing the toxic substances building up that are associated with neurological disorders such as Alzheimer's disease. So it's important to note that research on the lymphatic system is still relatively new, and scientists continue to study its exact mechanisms and functions. And additionally, the understanding of the lymphatic system may have evolved since my last update, which was in September of 2021. So it's always a good idea to refer to more recent literature and also research for the latest findings. The next thing that I want to talk about for maintaining good memory and brain health is to limit alcohol and avoid smoking. So excessive alcohol consumption and smoking can have detrimental effects on brain health and memory. So it's best to limit or avoid these substances. The next thing that we want to talk about is managing chronic conditions. So if you have any chronic health conditions like diabetes or hypertension, work with your healthcare provider to manage them effectively, as they can impact brain health. I also want to talk about brain boosting supplements. You would consult with a healthcare professional before taking any supplements. That's always my recommendation. But certain vitamins and minerals, like a B complex vitamin, vitamin D, and antioxidants, really help with brain support. Remember that brain health is closely tied to overall well-being. So adopting a healthy lifestyle that includes both physical and mental well-being is really essential. Always consult with a healthcare professional before making significant changes to your diet, exercise routine, or supplementation, especially if you already have an ongoing condition or health concern. With that, I'd like to conclude by saying thank you so much for listening here today. I hope that this episode has brought value to your day, has given you something to think about, especially if you're concerned about your brain health and maintaining good brain health for many years to come. Thank you so much. Until the next time, be well, stay happy, and bye for now.